folks, to another episode of this Bass Boat Podcast on the Serious Angler Network. We are special event live. Made the trip over to the Columbia River, somewhere actually I've never been on this section of the Columbia. Super excited to be here, but this is the inaugural season for the BAM Pro Tour. A lot of changes into next year. We've had Mark on multiple times talking about that. But we're going to do quick interviews for the top 10 going into tomorrow. Again, this is Columbia River BAM Pro Tour event out of Boardman, Oregon. First up, we got Mr. Carl Okerman. Carl, how's it going, my man?
It's going great. Excited to be here. Can't wait to fish tomorrow.
Heck yeah, man. So where are you from, and how has fishing been this week for you?
So I'm from around Sandpoint. I'm currently living in Northern California, working down there, building power lines. But I've worked around here for about a year and a half, so I got a little bit of experience out here. I didn't get a chance to fish all my spots. I was trying to hold some spots. So we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow.
No doubt. So forecasted winds, people are talking about it. Big winds coming. I guess when it comes down to it, does that change anything for you tomorrow? Are you going for broke? Did you qualify? You qualified via numbers, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So in this format, in the BAM format, there's basically two ways to make the top 10 final day. That's your top 5 that are basically your regular 5-fish tournament, your weight, and the top 5 from the numbers first day. So you win, you did it. Now, what do you do? Are you changing things up to go after it?
Yeah. So I've probably got about 500 waypoints out there, and I've stayed off of I pulled all my fish off of. I caught a couple today in some random spots, but for the most part, I fished one spot and caught all my fish in one spot. But I got a couple spots where there's some largemouth, and if they're home, I'm gonna catch them.
Awesome, love it. Yeah, we haven't seen any largemouth, at least that I've seen across the stage. So curious to see who's gonna bring the largemouth tomorrow, and great to hear that you're going after it.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I got a 921 Phoenix, and I bought that boat specifically for the river because I've been out here and it was in a different brand boat, and it got rough. We launched up in Tri-Cities, and I made a run about 65 miles one way down here, and I speared about 5 waves. But that Phoenix that I got now, it doesn't spear waves. It's an aircraft carrier, and it's built for rough water. And smallmouth, they bite when it's crappy out. So let it blow.
Like it. Love to see it. All right, let's see if we can get Ish here. Attention here. You want to come, Ish?
Thank you.
No problem. All right, so next up, we've got Mr. Ish Monroe, fishing all over the country, well-known pro for quite some time. And good for him to be back on the West Coast, as he does usually. How's it going, Mr. Ish?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man. Man, so made it with weight this week.
Yes.
Right? So snuck in.
And keeper count, both.
You double qualify.
I double qualify.
Okay, my man.
Yeah.
So you're a guy who has a lot going on. You're fishing the opens, you fished at
BAM.
the highest level, fishing BAM, you're fishing so much stuff. What does it mean, I guess, to have BAM on the West Coast, something like this, it's new and reinvigorating, that kind of a thing. What's your take on it this year?
I think BAM's great. I think, I tell all the anglers, come fish the Pro-Ams, qualify for the Pro Tour. I mean, the Super 60 next year, $50,000 for first. 60 guys, $2,500 entry fee, and he's paying back 20 places, and you get your money back plus some. Like, you're covering your trip when you cash a check, and that's how circuits should be. There's a lot of circuits out there that, you go out, you cash a check, and you're just like, that's all I get. Like, you lost money. Right. At the end of the day. And then that's not cool. But BAM's done a fantastic job with the Super 60. It's done a fantastic job here on the Pro Tour, the Pro-Ams. I mean, I support it all.
Love it. Okay, this week, Columbia River.
Phenomenal fishery.
Phenomenal. This was my first time seeing anything out here. Rode around with the camera boat today. Super, super healthy. It just seems like to me. That's my take on it. Have you caught any largemouth this week? Largemouth guy. That's who everyone knows. Big fish, kind of big baits. That's Ish's style. Well-known stuff. What has it been like this week? And what's tomorrow going to do? Weight's 0, so you're going for broke. What does it look like?
Well, I mean, I had 18 pounds of smallmouth today, and you can get healthy real quick on the smallmouth, but there are some big largemouth. The last time we were here, it was one with largemouth. but the weather's not going to make it for me to make that run to where the largemouth. Like if we had weather today, tomorrow, I'd probably make a run and take the gamble and try to go win the thing on largemouth, because you can catch big largemouth really quickly here if you find them, but there's not a lot of them. When you find a largemouth, it's big, but there's just not a lot of them. So I've caught a couple 6-pounders here before. I'm probably going to go try to fish those areas, but I'm not going to make the long run to where I need to go to win.
Got it. Because of the weather.
Because of the weather, yes.
Got it. That's been the talk of the evening for sure. This place can get really, really big with the current and of course the wind that can happen. Have you been out here when it's been really big before?
So I remember fishing a Bassmasters. I think it was 2002. So I was coming to lockdown. There was 30 guys that actually locked down. And by the time I got to the lock, I realized how big it was getting. And so I turned back around, and they actually shut the lockdown because the waves were breaking over the dam. And you're talking about a dam that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they call us the windsurf capital of the world.
Surf capital of the world. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Boardman, Oregon.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Well, man, good luck to you tomorrow.
Thanks.
And we'll get go grab Jason Hickey for me.
I will.
Go to the next guy up.
All right.
Certainly appreciate you. Good
Yep.
luck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Jason, you're up.
All right, folks. Next up, we've got Mr. Jason Hickey, who's now a new neighbor of mine. So I made the move over to Boise, Idaho. So I'm not
really?
too far from you.
Right on.
And man, so you're what would be considered a local somewhat to this place, right? You're within what, 3 hours of here?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Okay, well that's just a little bit closer.
Okay.
So what is your take this time of year fishery? I would presume mostly post spawn. What do you feel like the fish are doing, and how have things gone the last 2 days?
Well, coming down here, having fished here so much, and it's obviously a different scenario than the last 2 tournaments where I'm just like going out there and going for broke and have never seen the water, and so just trying to go by the seat of my pants, excuse me, where today and this week it's like all these things, so you're like with no practice, you're running around taking kind of sampling areas and looking at what's happening. And there's an awful lot of fish offshore schooling. And so what I've decided is like, I just had to grind away and get in on keepers. And then that was kind of my deal going in, is like, just going to go fishing and kind of let the fish tell me. And it didn't take long for me to realize I just need to rack up keepers, and that's going to be the way to get in. And I certainly I really don't have any business going anywhere where I've been the last couple of days, because it's just, I haven't caught a 4-pounder yet. And so it's kind of looking forward to just going and fishing all freshwater, really looking forward to, the weights zeroing out and putting on the big baits and going fish for 5 fish. And that's really like what I like to do. I mean, this place is so special to me. I've been coming here for a lot of years, and there's no place that it means so much to me. And I love to river fish, and I, fish on the Snake River a lot at home and Weezer River. And so definitely a river guy. And so it'd be a pretty big deal to me to go out and catch 20 pounds tomorrow.
Yeah,
looking forward to it. Heck yeah.
So now, any largemouth in your game plan tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
No.
Smallmouth fishing.
No, I'm not much of a. That's why I'm always like top 5 guy on these fisheries where there's largemouth or a sideline. I just not. I mean, occasionally I do, but I mean, I see today there was a 20+ pound bag come in today, and so that's what I'm going to look for is those big smallies. I mean, that's my comfort zone, and that's what I like to do. And if I ever eventually win one of these things, I want it to be on smallmouth. So that's what I'm going to do. Heck yeah.
Awesome. Great, man. One last question, because this is new. Basically the BAM Pro Tour this year, the no practice thing. How has that been for you? Have you fished a tournament series before where it's completely off limits until day 1 of the derby?
No, I haven't. And I've always, I've been it's so amazing that we have an exclusive circuit that that not all the locals. I mean, it's great. I mean, that's what it takes to get the numbers and fill the field. But honestly, over the years, it's pretty crazy to think that you're going to go out and be consistent and being an out of town guy every single time and compete against a large contingency of locals all the time. And so I love this. I love what they're doing. It's easier on, you know, our families and all that when we're not gone as long, but ultimately I love that, just like everybody line up and go, and the fact that we haven't all been out there and practicing and getting a mindset. And I just love that it's just like pure. It just seems like the purest form of the sport. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a super neat format, super unique. I like my first thought of everything. Is like I finally got to a point where like a Toyota series, I understand the practice, like have dialed into practice to
Right.
be able to catch fish, and then it's like this is like, man, then you're going out blank. Like it's just,
Right.
It's fishing
Right.
with your gut and finding what that day's bringing.
Right. I came down here in the pre-practice, and I had intentions when I first got here of going downstream and learning new water. And I thought, you know what? I don't get to practice. So there's no way I'm not going to go fish what I know for the first couple days. It'd take me 2 days, and I'm far from fishing everything that I know to go fish. And so like, why would I string myself out? And so I've just stayed, you know, local here from here upstream, and man, I'm looking forward to it.
Heck yeah. Love it. Love it. Awesome, man. Well, we'll get Conrad on next. I certainly
Right on.
appreciate your time. Good luck tomorrow.
Awesome, man.
Go
Thank
catch
you.
that 20-pound bag. Conrad. What's going on, my man?
What is going on, guys?
How are we doing? We are day 2 down on the BAM Pro Tour, Boardman, Oregon. You were worried about making it in,
Yep.
but you made it in, snuck in.
Yep.
How have the last 2 days been for you?
Last 2 days have been pretty cool. You know, this is the first time I've ever been here, so I've really been trying to just like get a lay of the land, trying to understand how these fish set up. Like I fish for largemouth when I'm at home, so totally different system. But you look at a VX Humminbird map, and you can pretty much figure out really quick where these guys set up.
There you go. Love it. Love it. So yeah, I mean, not a smallmouth guy.
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yep.
Dude, you had a good last couple of years.
Yeah.
One at the California Delta.
Yep.
And what has the BAM Pro Tour been like first opening season?
You know, I was in the decision-making process of deciding to come here. The biggest thing for me was like the media. For me, you know, I wanted something, a platform that I could, you know, present my sponsors on well and try to grow myself as a brand. And I mean, you're not going to get this kind of media out of any other organization that I've ever been a part of on the West Coast. So, you know, every event I've had cameras in my boat. We have cameras every morning, you know, interviews galore. I mean, this is just a great platform to be able to represent my sponsors. And I'm really glad that I made the decision to fish BAM and Super 60 next year.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. 60 guys, $50,000. I think it's going to shake some things up. Looking forward to it. I like that they've kind of expanded, in my opinion, just out right a little bit. They're
Sure.
running down to Arizona.
Yep.
Checking stuff out in Oregon.
Yep.
And just some of these unique fisheries, I think, are going to continue to kind of show up.
Yep, absolutely. You got to be versatile, you know, and this kind of shows out. I mean, we got a lot of the same guys in the top 10 every event, and that shows how good these guys are, no matter if you're in Arizona fishing for big, large heads or you're up here fishing for brown ones. So, I mean, these guys are good.
No doubt. So, final day tomorrow. Weights are zero.
Yep.
I guess what's the game plan? Going for broke? What do things look like for you?
So, the last 2 days, I've stopped on a spot 2-3 times a day, and every time I've gone there, I've hooked up with a 4 to 5 pounder, and there's multiple of them. I mean, there's 10 to 20 4 to 5 pounders in this school. Today I lost both of them, and yesterday I caught one that's 488. So tomorrow I think I'm just gonna kind of make a few more stops there 4 or 5 times throughout the day and just try to give myself as many opportunities as I can to try to catch those 4 to 5 pounders and try to come in with 20.
So you found a big fish spot.
Yeah.
That's good to have.
Yeah.
And, that's how you can go bust
Yeah.
a bag final day.
Yeah. Just out there shaking a minnow on them. They're just suspended out chasing bait and head down, scope on, and full send.
Wow. Love it. Love it. Okay. Anything with as far as scoping minnow, I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
that this week, of course, smallmouth.
Yep.
Forward facing is a thing. Now, as far as depth goes, is there like a depth range that these fish are in that make them accessible to do that?
You know, the biggest thing for me is having deep water access on it. It's a point that has current coming on both sides of it. So these fish will like set up on the point, you know, bait will kind of flush down the river, you know, put nose into the current and just look around. They just kind of pull up off the bottom, suspend in groups of like 5 to 10. As long as I'm panning around and looking for them actively, you know, and make a good cast is the big thing. Put it on their head, you know, I'm going to get an opportunity, but it's just, you know, right place, right time, and making good decisions on that end.
Love it. Awesome, man. Well, wish you the best of luck. Good
Cool.
luck with that
Thanks, brother.
tomorrow.
Good seeing you.
Good to see you.
See you guys later.
All right. We'll get Bill. All right, Mr. Bill O'Shan, how's it going, my man?
It's going pretty good.
That's right. Okay. Well, man, you have made it. We're talking final day, Boardman, Columbia River. So, did you make it with catching big fish this week, or were you a numbers guy?
I was numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, I started out fishing for largemouth the first morning for a few hours, and when that didn't pan out, I just started going for numbers. And I was actually honestly targeting 14 to 15-inch fish because I could catch them faster and get them in and cull and move on. So
literally
I was literally targeting smaller fish.
Okay.
Yep.
And when you say that, were you doing this via forward-facing sonar, or are you saying you were trying to find the smallest size?
Well, you know, I mean, it was putting myself in areas where I just knew that there were schools, or I, you know, presumed that there were schools, and when I would catch one or two, I could kind of gauge it. You know, typically these fish, the biggest ones will eat first, so I could kind of gauge it from there, and how fast they're eating and positioning, you could know. And when you get on one of those schools, you can catch a lot of keepers real fast. So I was really just looking for those type of schools, and when I found them, I was getting right real quick.
Love how we got a train going. So it's fantastic. It's honestly, hopefully, it's blocking out. So, great to hear that you did it with numbers, but now, final day, it changes things.
Yep.
Now, in this format, it goes straight to weight. What is going through your head? Do you have some big fish areas? Are you going free fish tomorrow? What is it?
So today at about 1 o'clock, I kind of knew I was in for keepers. So I stuck around for another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And I decided, you know what, I need to go practice. So I went and practiced, and first spot I rolled up on a big fish spot that I know of. I caught a 4.5 pounder and cold. And then I caught in about 6 more casts. I caught a 4 pounder. So right at the end of the day, I found them. So if we get to go tomorrow, I'm hoping that they're there and I can put 5 of those in the boat.
That's awesome.
Smallmouth. Yep.
Okay. Big smallmouth.
Yep.
Anything in particular when you're fishing this body of water, like what makes a big fish spot? Is it just something in history where you've caught big ones before? Is there something different that you feel like these bigger fish are setting up on?
You know, it's for me, it's this time of year, you got to be adjacent to those spawning areas. They're not still up on them, but those backwaters and those spawning areas, the temperature gets so high that they'll get right out on the edge. And knowing that, because they haven't fully moved out, there's still some out, you know, obviously in their summer pattern, but there's a lot of the big ones that are still kind of right on that edge. So that's what I'm targeting, is just the edge of the big spawning areas.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. And so last thing here, place seems super healthy. Just able to get out in the water. What do you feel like from a forage standpoint are the bigger fish at this point? I mean, is it the perch? Is it the shad? Kokanee in here? What do you feel like it is?
So I've a couple things. Big pretty good sized perch. You know, I had some fish spitting up like 4 and 5 inch perch.
Wow.
I had fish spitting up like lobster sized crawdads.
Really?
Yes, big huge crawdads. Yeah. And the salmon smelt. They are chasing. There's some shad around too, but the shad's pretty small still. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Bill, wish you the best of luck tomorrow. We'll get Greg to you.
All right, great. Thanks.
What's going on, Greg?
Oh, nothing. How's it going?
Oh, going great. Going great. We're enjoying the sunshine, and hopefully we're not waiting you guys wait too long here.
I could, I was hungry, but I could use to lose a couple of pounds.
Hey,
though.
there was the taco truck. You missed out on some great
I
tacos.
had watermelon. It was awesome.
I know. I missed
I
the
mean, it was-
watermelon. I was setting up, and I just see all these guys with watermelon. But anyways, I'm sure I'll find some. But Greg, you are sitting now. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth place. You were leading yesterday,
Correct.
weight wise.
Right.
Okay. So yesterday you go out, you bust a big bag.
Mhm.
Today, faltered a little bit. What happened? What do you feel like those fish did? And did you make it in on numbers or on weight?
Well, I got a big fish area. I got numbers areas,
Okay.
and so it's a numbers and big fish game. I went in and I hooked the big fish in the morning, and they pulled off. So a lot of them,
You hooked and lost.
I hooked and lost. I lost some key fish this morning. I probably should have had another at least 18 and a half to 19 pounds
Wow.
today.
Wow.
I'm being conservative on this one, but everybody gets it. But right now the grass is getting a little thicker. It's a little coarser, so it's not cutting like it was. So the fish are coming out. And we could talk because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But I'm casting dirt shallow. I mean, like I'm casting 6 inches from the water.
And these are brown fish. These are
Brown fish.
Really?
But there's this little drain that's about 2.5 to 3 foot deep, and then it goes up to a foot deep. So I'm casting over this
over
ledge.
the grass. Yeah.
It's a rock ledge,
Oh wow.
and then there's grass on this thing. So I hook these fish. They come out and they're tumbling because now they're in a foot of water.
Yeah.
And then they get wound up in this grass and they pull off.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
frustrating.
it is frustrating. But everybody catches, everybody loses fish, everybody's got a million stories. But that's just the thing. So I lost those key bites, and then I didn't get anything for probably an hour and a half, and I got a 14-incher in the boat, and it was pretty miserable. But I'm laughing about it because it's a start. But I know in the back of my head, I got 15, 16 pounds all day, every day,
Right.
down river. So,
Yeah.
I made a move. The camera boat's pulling out, and my fish had repositioned.
Yeah.
And I started banging on fish. I loaded the boat really quick. I had probably about 14 pounds. I ran all the way down to Arlington and just started smashing them cold a bunch of
Really?
times, and then came up, and then I went to my big fish spot and I went and looked, and those fish are there. I'm
They're still
seeing
there.
they're there. I went and looked. I
With your eyeballs.
didn't fish for them because now I know I've got 22 fish plus 29, or I'm 51 fish.
Yep.
So I know I'm comfortable.
You're safe.
And I know I've got a decent bag. I figured I had 16 to 17. It was 16 and a quarter. I don't
Yeah.
weigh my fish, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But so I know I'm comfortable. I laid off my big fish for tomorrow. And now the possibility is we may not
May
do
not
that.
go with the wind.
We're gonna call the ball. And here I
Yeah.
am going, man, I should have just
That's-
smashed them and just been done with it.
Well, and who knows, right? Like, I
Right.
mean, it may be a call tomorrow where you guys go, but
I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet you are.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Doesn't
ready.
matter how big it is. I'm going.
These fish, I'm going. Yeah.
Wow.
I planned it out. I've done enough of these tournaments like this in this
Yeah.
format that planned it out. I know which way the wind blows. I know which banks get hit hard.
Mm.
I know how to fish it when it's windy there. I don't know this pool, but I spent some time for the Pro-Am here, a month ago,
Yeah.
and I put some time in checking it out, and I found those fish. I could do 17 to 20 pounds every day.
And you found them a month ago.
Yeah.
A month ago.
And
Wow.
they're still there.
Wow. And okay, something like that shallow. A, what do you feel like they're feeding on? And B, how are you getting bit?
They're herding the shad up there. They're
Really?
whatever the bait fish is.
Little
So
babies,
so
yeah.
what was it? A month ago the bait was this big, this
Little-
big.
There you go.
Now it's this big.
Okay.
So it's 4 to 6 inches. So I was throwing like it's an old school Reaction Innovations fixing, right?
Really?
Yeah. And
Very
I'm
cool.
I'm throwing it right on the bank. I even cracked it a couple times. I hit so close, but
Wow.
and then I'm feathering it out instead of letting it just blunk. I stop it so it lands flat, because if not, it goes down and it hits the bottom eye, and dinged it up a couple times. So
Okay.
I got a little water leak in that. So
Oh,
I got to
yeah.
fix that, because those you can't get those.
No, yeah, those are gone.
Yeah, those are gone. That
Yeah.
ship has sailed.
Oh,
So this is a, you know, but that's what I was doing. I found them up there, and then I gotta tell you, I would go through with top water, and then when they stopped biting, I would pick up the last month it was a cover scad. Now it's a bomba.
okay. I don't know
And
what those are.
that's a turd looking piece
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
plastic, you know,
Yeah,
like 3.5.
similar
Yeah.
to the
Yeah, cover scat, you know,
Yeah.
just heavy thing, and I put it up there, and it has 0 weight in it, and just slide it over the rocks, and they don't even bite it. They just grab it and just start swimming away with it. And so anyhow, that, and then when I go after my numbers fish, I just go down and pick up a nail and
get after it.
I ruin them. Yeah, it's
I ruin them.
it's fun. It's
Awesome.
fun. I love this water. It's really cool body of water.
Seems to be super healthy.
Yeah.
And then just super exciting. So
Lumpy, but it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It can certainly get bumpy out there too.
Yeah.
As we may find out tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
I'm good with that.
yeah, you're good with it. Doesn't matter how
let's
big it is.
go.
He's going. I like it. I like it. Well, awesome. Well, Greg, certainly appreciate you taking the time out, and
Yeah.
go catch him tomorrow. Go get yourself a big bag if we can go.
Yeah.
Hoping we can, just for your sake.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
We'll talk to you.
All right. Come on, Boomer.
All right, I'm here.
Oh man, we've got
Oh, you even got the camera going.
the one and only Mr. Boomer.
Mr. Boomer.
Mr. Boomer. We've gone rounds on the fantasy fishing show.
Yep.
We've had a great time. This season you've been doing the fantasy fishing stuff, Serious Angler Crew, and it's been a blast. And I'm pumped because I saw you do well here in the Pro-Am. I was like, okay, he's scouting things out a little bit. No, I know what he's up to. It's not far from here. Spent some time on the Columbia, and now you're watched you on the Tourney X app today, which I've never utilized before. That was cool to see. Numbers game, and you freaking crushed them. How many fish did you catch today?
I think I caught 100 and over the 2 days, I think I've caught 102 or 105 or something like that. Yeah,
that is getting it done. And that's over 14 inches.
Yeah, and that's over 14 inches. I mean, if you count the shorts, there's a lot of them for sure.
That's nuts. Why is this place so healthy? What's your take on it? I mean, you fish a lot of the Northwest your entire life. What makes this place special?
Everybody has their opinion. My opinion about it is that there's a lot of great flats for fish to spawn, and there's always a constant supply of food, and it's brought to them with current. So you get something like a smallmouth. Walleye do really well here. They can just sit and feed, and that's what they do. And there's no end to, I mean, they go from one bait to the next, to the perch, to the, So, and they just get big. I mean, the largemouth on the upper pool are insane. There's big largemouth in this pool too.
Awesome. Speaking of largemouth, okay, we've got tomorrow, if we can go, hoping we can. That's the thought process. What is your plan tomorrow? You've been chasing numbers. I don't know. You've had some big fish mixed in, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Through some of this. What changes tomorrow, if anything?
The one thing as I've gone down this journey of fishing more professionally at a higher level is just doing what I think is good. You know what I mean? Because every one of these guys is going to say, I'm going to go swing for the fence and do this and do that. I kind of am an offshore guy, and I kind of do my offshore stuff. And so I think I kind of got to stick to it. Almanor, or the last pro event, I kind of got it in my head. I couldn't win with the way I got in. Once again, I got in with keepers.
Okay.
And then halfway through the day, I was trying everything else to win the tournament, and then went back to the keeper count, just the keeper spot that I had, just to get some weight because I was stinking it up so bad.
Yeah.
And almost won the damn thing. So, and if I had another hour, I think I could have. So I kind of got to stick true to it. Like, I feel that's 100%. It's my biggest hang up. You know what I mean? Like, I get caught up going, man, I got to get flipping grass. You know what I mean? But I've always been an offshore guy since I started. I really enjoy it. And if the right thing happens, like at the Pro-Am last year, I had like a 16 or 17 ounce, or it was last month, sorry, like a 17-pound bag on day 2. And I thought those fish were going away with me. And then the next day I weighed 20 off the same spot.
Off the
same spot. So it's like, man, you're right. Dance with the one that brought you. Yeah, for sure.
I like it. Well, man, looking forward to seeing you getting after it tomorrow. Hopefully they'll let you go. I know you've told me, but what why does this place get so big?
So the reason it's so scary is the current. The
Okay.
the wind is always blows from the west and the current goes to the east, and so it stacks up and it gets really tall. And a lot of people are like, well, all you got to do is you got to trough the waves. Well, if you try to trough the waves here, the only thing you'll do is go north and south. You'll never go east and west. You'll just go to the one side and you'll come back and you'll be in the same spot.
back and forth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you'll be wet. But the nice thing about it is that you get this late in the year, the wind could blow hard, and it will. But like what tomorrow's prediction isn't that bad. But the current's been brought down for the summer levels, and it just doesn't stack up to the point that the term we have for this place is biblical.
Yeah.
It's biblical.
Biblical.
Yeah, it's
biblical. out
mhm.
there.
Yeah, you need Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets bad. I've been on Lake Erie, Saginaw Bay, and those are scary, but this place has scared me probably a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you're talking current, big wind, like that stuff, yeah, that's a bad combo.
Yeah. There's not a lot of beach around here either. It's all rock. So where are you gonna leave your boat?
You're just kind of stuck in
Yeah.
a boat smashed somewhere.
And this is my last story, and then you can be done with me. But I had a buddy who actually left his boat on riprap. He felt safer parking it on riprap and walked to the highway. So it's
Oh
been like
my
that
God.
before. Yeah. I
That's
parked it
terrible.
on riprap.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So anyways.
well, man, looking forward to watching you tomorrow. Hopefully, you go get them and pull this one off. But,
Yeah, I appreciate you coming, man. Thank you.
absolutely. Hayden.
Dude, I'm totally watching this one already.
All right, Mr. Hayden Lee. Got to watch you some today, man. Catching
Yep.
them.
Yeah, that was fun.
You were pretty. We rolled up on you, and you were just smiling. Oh, he's got something going on here. Give us. You don't have to give us all the details. Some of your boys are still around here fishing
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they're all
but
focused in.
what did things look like for you this week? I mean, no practice, so you just roll into these derbies. You got 2 days. How did you break things down fast to find some fish? And what do you feel like has been, I guess, the factor for you to make it sitting right now in third place?
Well, I've been here a couple times to this pool on the same exact weekend, ironically, because the pro-am used to come 2 weeks after. So I came down here pre-practicing a couple times, and I figured this pool out pretty good. And this river they don't get too much pressure, so it doesn't really change very much. So I'm just running history that I've fished before, fishing pretty shallow, doing mostly sight fishing. I can see most of them. So, but if the water stays the same as it was today, it's going to be a fun day tomorrow. I located a lot of schools of fish, and there's a lot of big ones, all 3 to 4 pounds mostly.
Wow.
So hopefully we can repeat what we did today.
Yeah, and so wind tomorrow is in the forecast. Big winds, what everyone's saying. What does that do to your sight fishing stuff?
It'll just make it better.
Really? So
Yeah.
you can still see them when it's like that.
I don't
Or-
have to see them.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll come. They'll chase a little better when it's windy, and I don't have. If I can't see them, they can't see me. A lot of them see you before and you spook them off. So I'll just have to adjust with the baits that I'm throwing, but
Got it.
that's fine.
Got it.
I like to throw spinner bait too.
Exactly. Man, so nothing changes for you tomorrow. You've been catching big ones this week, right?
Yeah, no, I knew from the start of day one that I was going for weight. Today, I probably caught 25 to 30 keepers today. I probably threw 15 of them back.
Wow.
Just because I didn't want to stop and take pictures of them if I knew I was going just for weight.
Sure.
Yeah, I've missed a lot of opportunities on fish, and I've been lucky enough to have enough bites to lose a couple 4-pounders every day. So hopefully tomorrow they all get stuck.
You feel like you are around enough to be in that 20-pound? I mean, what's your take on what's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's going to take at least, I think someone's going to have 19 for sure. It wouldn't surprise me if someone brought in 2021.
Awesome. Well, Hayden, appreciate you, man. Good luck
All right.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Colby. And Mr. Three-Peat himself, the guy. We're talking Colby Pearson. From what I understand, you weren't 100% sure you're going to fish the BAM Pro Tour, right? Coming into 2024. And I'd say like right now things have paid off pretty decent.
Yeah, super glad I decided to join the pro tour here and start fishing these events. Yeah, I was a little conflicted at the beginning, but Mark's putting on a great show. Excellent event. You see the media coverage is top notch. He's writing checks in the parking lot. So it's really what bass fishing in the West has needed for a long time.
No doubt. And talk a little bit about that. Kind of seen stuff with you on the news. I've seen all kinds of different things. What has that done for your career, at this stage in this era of social media?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing for me is it really allows me to give back to all my supporters and sponsors that I've worked with for a long time. As a traveling angler, I mean, I can only get so much media. I have a strong social media and stuff like that too. But when I can go the extra mile and get a newscast or get a magazine issue, something like that, it just really helps those guys out. And I'm just thankful to repay them in that aspect with the coverage. And I work really hard for my sponsors, and I appreciate them, and I hope they appreciate me too.
Very good. So this week, Boardman, Oregon, fairly close to home for you. And what would it mean? You won first two, not close to home. Well, certainly Arizona not close to home. This one, I'm sure you've spent some time out here over the years. What would this mean this week?
It's super funny. Everyone thinks I'm a local up here. I live 6 hours away. I've been here like 3 times. But I smallmouth fish a bunch. I'm always comfortable whenever I get to go chase those things around. So I fish the river maybe 5 or 8 times in my life and get a pretty good grasp of kind of what to do here. So I feel really comfortable. I've almost won here in the past, so it would mean a lot to be able to win, and being able to be here and defend the title and potentially get a three-peat. I mean, that's like historical, and just blessed to be here, man. I can't wait.
Okay, so tomorrow, going big fish. You've been a numbers guy. Absolutely blown up. How many fish have you caught over the last?
Yeah, so scoreable fish, I submitted 111 in the last 2 days. It's over 14 inches. And the crazy part about the fish I was catching is they're all pretty nice ones. They're 17 and 18 inches, 2.5, 3 pound smallmouth galore. I've never caught so many fish. My hands, but I can barely make a fist. They're so tore up from catching these fish. And I weighed in 18 pounds a day, just culling through fish in solid bags. I think I'm second in weight too. But I have boat side lost some giants, which has been fine because I haven't necessarily needed them. Not that I saved them, but going into tomorrow, if I can get those fish connected and land them, that's going to be a really tough bag for this pool in the river.
Very cool. We're looking forward to watching you get after it. Potential repeat, just a historical season for you in general. Glad to see kind of this breakout year you're having. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Best luck for you guys too. And we're going to get out there tomorrow and go catch some.
Nick. A lot of talk about this. You won't even believe it.
Flipping stick.
All right, so we're going to start, Nick, with how did you catch every fish today? Every specific detail.
I can't give that up today, but tomorrow I'll spill the beans.
Tomorrow, spill the beans. So, man, leading going into the final day, of course, weight's 0. But the nice part is you're leading with big fish, meaning that you had found some big fish, chased some big fish around. What changed? I don't know where you were sitting yesterday, but today you had almost 2014,
something like that.
Almost 21-pound bag. Just an absolute sack of fish, especially this time of year, post-spawn, that kind of a thing. What do you feel like changed?
Honestly, I have one spot.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on one area. Caught 17 something off it yesterday with 29 scorables. And then today, I mean, I knew they were there. I did catch some good ones. I hooked into a good one there yesterday and lost it. When I actually caught that 569, I thought it was a walleye.
Really?
I legit told the walleye fisherman that was right next to me when I really you won.
You were convinced it was a walleye.
Yeah, I was not playing it out or doing it. I was just horsing it in. Then when I seen what it was, everything broke loose. Trying to get that thing in the boat.
You're like, here we go. And no net in this format either. So you're scooping, scoring a great big smallmouth. And that was big fish by what? Almost over a pound margin.
Yeah, pretty close.
That's awesome. So I guess let's talk a little bit about the format. No practice going into this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you spent time out here before? What does that look like in your head when there's no practice involved? You're just rolling in day one and you got to start catching fish because other people are going to be doing it.
I love the format.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep returning to this format. It's just it's refreshing. You know what I mean? It's something different, gets out of the 5 fish limit, I mean, where nobody in this tournament can just walk away, weigh 30 pounds a day and not even have to go out on championship day.
Right.
That's the cool thing about it. And I like the no practice. I like to go out there and just figure it out. I seem to do pretty well with that. Because if I practice, you're going to catch fish, some of them that you don't want to catch that day.
Sure.
And then you can come out with a preconceived notion of how you're going to catch them. And that's the one thing that gets me when I do practice for events. I go out, I'm like, oh, they're eating a lipless crankbait, they're eating a chatterbait, and then the weather conditions change. But in my head, I already have it. Like, I've got 20 pounds on a chatterbait, I'm gonna throw that thing all day.
Right.
But out here, you're figuring out on the fly. I'm gonna throw this, I'm gonna throw that. Okay, they're eating this, they're not eating that. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. This is the second time I've ever been on this river system.
Wow.
So I'm not a smallmouth guy. I live on the California Delta of 65-pound braid, big rods. So to come out here and catch 20 pounds smallies is pretty awesome. And to lead day 2, but who knows what happens tomorrow.
Sure.
So
very cool. And so tomorrow, do you feel like you've got enough left? I mean, it's your spot, right? What's the plan going into day 3 in championship Sunday?
So I've shared this spot with 2 to 3 boats.
Oh, really?
And none of them are fishing, except for one of them. All right. So I'll pretty much have it to myself. The issue,
you were having to share it.
Yeah. They were cool though. Everyone was cool. Yeah. The issue is I've pounded that spot for 2 days and I'm worried that they're not going to hold up. Because even today, I did catch that good bag on it. A lot of the fish that I was scoping, they were really keened into what was falling in front of their face and they weren't reacting like they were on the first day. So I think I just have to change a little bit. I caught more on, a different bait today than I did yesterday.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to run with that for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
And man, okay, it's also been super slick.
Yeah.
Right. Like the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow's going to be windy and bumpy and things change. I mean, what's your take there? Is there anything technique wise? Is that going to make it harder to scope? I mean, what's I don't know where the spot is, but like, do those details matter?
See, the way I plan on catching tomorrow, I think the wind will play with that. And then a lot of the times, I just scope to see where the school is, and then I'll spot lock. The current push is pretty good, so I try to not, let it push me around. So what I'll do, I'll scan over. Okay, they're over there. I'll bomb it over there and hit spot lock. So I won't really know what's going on for the most part. So as long as I can see them, and have an idea of what they're doing, and a lot of them are busting on bait, and that's a key factor too. Those are the larger fish that I've been catching have been busting on bait, and you have to be quick to get it in front of their face. But it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm nervous either way.
Yeah, super cool, and right, may not even happen. The wind gets too bad first thing in the morning tomorrow. I believe the way the rules are, you walk away the champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm nervous to show up tomorrow because A, I could leave here in the morning with the trophy, or B, I got to go see if those fish are going to be there still. So it's going to be hard to sleep tonight. That's for sure.
I was going to say, well, I'm the kind of guy who, if it's in my hand already, I'm going to take that. Like I understand the idea of going out tomorrow, but like you've done it now. Hopefully it works out for you either way.
If I wake up in the morning and the trees are rocking, I'm not going to be upset. I can tell you that much.
If I wake up and the trees are rocking, I'm not going to be upset. I love it because most of the time when we wake up like that, it's like, oh, it's gonna not. We're not happy about that. Right?
This would probably be the only event where wind was my friend. I hate to win that way, but I've got so many seconds, so many thirds, so many fourths. So I'm like, either way, if I go out there tomorrow, I can end up catching another 20-pound bag because I know they're there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Awesome, man. Well, Nick, certainly appreciate your time. We better let you go to get your top 10 meeting and get after tomorrow. Either way, good luck.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, we'll see you. All right, folks, and that wraps things up for our live interviews here. I guess not live, almost live interviews with the Serious Angler platform and everything we do with the BAM tour. Check them out. They're doing some really, really cool things out west. And we've got certainly more to come with them and into 2025. We're going to see. So super excited to see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully they get a go. It will be bumpy. And if Jake Boomer said it himself, it can be, what did he say? Biblical out there. So, all right. Have a good day.